I always forget to turn that app on. I'm so sorry. I've been here having a good time making a bonus patch. I'm playing and grooving, and it's 808 days. I didn't even check. I am sorry. I'm sorry. We'll start this all over. We'll get here again. Let's see. Let's go like this. Let's delete this. Well, I'm going to do the whole show as if it was like normal. So I had this up pretty close to full volume and the pad. And I didn't have what I'm doing. We're going to be pulsing in a minute here. Sorry. And I'm too loud. But you can hear it, right? Yeah, MegaMagic softer. This is what we'll pronounce. I love these premieres of new libraries where they have everything's nailed down and anyway, hi, I'm John Lemcool. This is my website. We sponsor this video every week. At pluginguru.com, we make custom sound libraries. Anyway, hi everybody. Can you hear me now? So I combined this, and then I wanted to do this. Go here and add wet cinematic. And I don't know if you know this, but there's another really cool ability here. Inside of right clicking, you can load as a Unify layer, which is you can do with this button here. Then that's this button. And then there's this button that loads just one layer. And you can right click to get to those options. Here's add instrument one. Here's load all into a new Unify layer, which is what this middle button is. But there's another button here that's really nice. Right here at the top. Load all instrument layers to the current patch. What this does is no matter how many layers are in this patch, when I choose this, boom. And I can get rid of the pedal low and high, but it's just a quick way to get, so I just had the piano. So I can have the bright piano go away. Kind of cool. I hadn't made any bonus patches using both the bright and the soft piano together. So that's what this is about. And what I was doing when I realized that I didn't have audio to you guys was I was over here inside a Guru sampler and I was going to bring in an LFO. And by doing an LFO, typically this lowers the energy because it's not a sustained volume, so you can bring things to be louder. Play at the right time. And I want this. And then what you can also do is, that's nice with this, is because I'm modifying this, the amp level, I can have this up a little bit. And let's have it so it's not going into the negatives. It only goes to the bottom of whatever I set this volume to. Right? Now we might want to do a little bit more ear candy stuff to this. We could have it doing a little fun pan thing here. So let's do this. Let's set this. So we use LFO3. And I like a triangle waveform for my modulation. Thank you. And go like this. And let's set the clock so that it's synchronized. So it's doing it like synchronized swimmers. Turn on T-Sync so that even with playing new notes, it keeps cycling at the rate and it doesn't get affected. There we go. Let's slow this down. Maybe a triplet kind of fun. And we can even have real pan also being modulated with that same LFO a little bit. Makes it even wider. Cool. Now I want to have it be a little bit more pronounced. I want to hear like a bit of a volume sweep. And so what you do to do that is bring up resonance on the filter. Let's have it come down. And I want the sample to start later into the main body. See how there's this swell end part? I want it to be like right there. That's better. Yeah, it should be stereo. Hopefully you're hearing this in stereo if you're not, you know. But anyway, this is Striker. It's a library that I am really thrilled to bring to you. Let's see. Now, I can't include this drum groove because this is part of our free 808 Day 2023 library. Make sure you own this library. It has all these really cool 808 drum grooves. It's got these kits at the bottom. It has both the mini pops. So you also have mini pop, which is good. Whole different vibe from those. There's a couple other things in here. I have it both transposing. What is my? Let me read this. This is. And there's Turkey. Well, that's it. Just this 808. So you could layer this. Anyway, there's some free libraries. I want to make sure you guys know that there's 808 2023. 808 2021 is a library that's also different in that it. Let's see why it's not playing. Well, maybe don't try 2021. I have to see why it's not working, but it's supposed to be working. Skippy MIDI file, no transpose. I don't know what happened here. I might have an early version that doesn't work. The one online should work, but 2023 I know is working because it's right here. So happy 808 day. Anyway, let me do this. Let's go to the metronome, Unify metronome, and find a nice groove to go along with this sound. Maybe like a chili pop. I kind of want more of a. That's cool. Maybe I want some guitar in this. Like doing a little arpeggiated guitar thing. So let's do this. This library has some really cool. Let's do the nylon. Let's do dreamy. I love the whole thing as it is because I want to just put a MIDI file on this to have it do something fun. Or actually, I think I'm going to use Blue Arp. And let's say like this, so it's randomized because I just went up here and just select random, and then turn certain ones off. I'm going to have it be eighth notes to start. And then we'll have it stop at different times. Now we gotta fix the patch to work with this. Since it's dreamy, it's a little bit too wet. Let's shorten that. Let's do this. Let's get velocity out of the equation. So it's just going to play. I don't want the module to do anything. And I'm going to go here to the Flex EQ and I'm going to bring down the low end. So it's just more just mid energy. And I might, let's see, let's get back over here to the top layer, to the blue art. Let's listen to this. Yeah, I think instead of 16th notes, this should be 8th notes. So let's go over here to change it to 8th notes. Let's get this to fit into the mix. Okay, let's save it right there. I'm going to keep working on this. I'm not going to give this one to you today. I want to refine it a little bit more, and I don't want to take up all of our live stream time at the start here to keep working on this. But so Z BPM pad, well, key, because it's you play. I determine what it's going to be here by how you will be playing it. It's more of a keyboard patch. Power pulse piano. And I'll keep working on this. And this is going to be one of the bonus patches that will be included with all the others that are going to come with this library. I can get some delays and some other things to do some interesting things in there as well. So actually, let me do this. I'm going to put bonus in the tags so that I know that this is kind of differentiated from everybody else. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well. 808 35 for the 20 minutes. Yeah, make it a key. Yeah, it is key. Thank you. You guys got it. Okay, so anyway, back to this is such a cool library. And thank you to those of you that have picked up the library. It's selling nicely. I appreciate all of you guys. One thing you can do if you have time after you've played with the library, leave a review on the page. Just scroll down on the Striker page at the bottom. There's a write a review. You have to be logged in. You have to own the library before it will let you write a review. But if you can write a little review, it would be very much appreciated. Let me know what you think of the library. That would be appreciated by all because it helps others that are looking at the library like, oh, what do other people think? It's great to have opinions from other people that are using the library and working with it. And so this library, it's done now, yay. It's in its current state with 80 patches, and it starts with the bright piano. It has so much range to it. Again, I played my piano with a drumstick. Just to try something, I don't have this hooked up, but I wanted to. This is the wave drum. This is one of the products for Korg that I worked on. And this is a really interesting instrument. It's got microphones, and the microphones are picking up what you play the drum head with. And if you're using your hands, it's a whole different sound than if you use a stick going into the same model. And so, you know, little curious me, I was like, well, I wonder what would happen if I used other energy sources on acoustic instruments. It's kind of the reverse of trying to do this in software, right? What if you use something else to put energy into a piano or into a guitar? And it turns out it still sounds like the instrument in some respects. Here's the 12 string, but the attack. It's a very different attack. So I did this with both the steel string, the nylon. Now, as I go up the keyboard, you'll notice it's still... I edited by hand many times these samples, including EQing these so it doesn't become tonky. I used a different type of a drumstick. I used a little plastic, it's kind of bendy, to play the guitars, because this much energy going into the guitar got super like a boomy big body bump from the impact, and didn't need that. So I used a different... Here's the steel string, just so you should... Again, it has the characters. And again, up here, if I played you the original samples, you'd be shocked with how big this big body bump is, right? But I did it per sample so that the low samples could still have their tone. And then the piano. And the piano I played both with the drumstick which is just really nice. Here, check this out. This is a beautiful combination when you go down here to the bonus patches. Where is Z key, new tone FM ballad? Just with the FM tine. Plays very nicely. Now, in this example here, I'm not having Stryker get all the way up into the super high stuff. You can just go open up Groove Sampler 2 and bring up the filter cutoff. Or use the mod wheel. I think I had the mod wheel set so that you can get there with the mod wheel if you want to bring up the brightness of the ridge. But it's nice when it just sits. Down here it's just awesome with the low notes. So it plays. Yeah, so I dropped PayPal because of their unrealistic service fee charges, especially to my customers in Europe. If you want to use PayPal, just email us at unifysupport@plugandgroove.com. Let me know your PayPal email address and we'll invoice you. I'm okay to do one-offs, but it was doing over 9% for a lot of my European customers that they're charging And as a small little boutique company, I can't afford to give my e-commerce bank that big of a share of my earnings. I don't earn enough money to be able to pay that. So I use Stripe. They have much more fair, balanced charges overseas as well as in the States. But if you don't mind using Stripe, they are great, and it works with all credit cards and all that kind of stuff. So I know people prefer PayPal for some things. Now, but not doing it. Not doing it. I tried to work with them and they wouldn't. So, well, maybe you can afford the extra 9%. A lot of people can't. So I just go ahead and ask us and we'll invoice you. I don't mind to do one at a time, but when you're doing a couple hundred sales and it's 9% to all these European customers, I mean, it's not right when there's somebody that's another company that will do it for 5%, you know, less than 5% in a lot of cases, most cases. So they're greedy. They're greedy. And it's all computer automated stuff at this process point, and they're making so much money. It's just not even funny. Anyway, so this library has the guitars, 3 guitars, and 2 takes on the piano. I showed you the Striker Hard. Striker Soft is played with this. It's very, very different. Thank you. I appreciate Troy. This is the vibraphone mallet that I used to play the piano. Now, the way that you play this, and I played this video last week. If you want to see it, I'll play it really quick. Let's go like this. And this is my piano. This is Eldora. She is a 6'6" Yamaha Concert Grand Piano. She's beautiful, sounds lovely. I will be making normal libraries with her. The first 2 times I've used her is in making drum sounds for cloud form and then doing this. So here is my piano. As you can see up here, it gets really hard to hit, and it also rings up. But what I did, you hold down the sustain pedal. That's how you play. You play it, you hit it from above. And let it ring out for 30 seconds. And then I use a vibraphone mallet. And also, this also shows. And you hit lots of doubles. This is actually not many takes compared to some of the notes, but it takes. And as you can see, the low strings are just 1 string. And then you get to a certain part in the keyboard range where it goes to 2 strings. And then actually the majority of the keyboard range is 3 strings of a piano. And so getting to where you're hitting just the strings of that pitch, and because I have to hold down the sustain pedal for it to ring out. So you have to hit it very precise in order to get these that type of... It takes a lot of work to... Kept trying. And that's roughly where the mics were set. It's not precise. Yeah, I was recording the hammer noise, the sustain pedal. But anyway, that is the technique of recording, and it takes an awful long time to get. But the vibe of this, because it's a vibraphone mat, you play it like a vibraphone. So there's round robins, 3 to 6 round robins per note. But there's only one sample across the keyboard range, and then I'm just programming into Guru Sampler velocity to the filter to give me the range of dynamics. I prefer this. You have a lot more range you can get from the filter than doing multiple samples at different velocities and trying to get a whole pass. If I had a MIDI sequencer and a playback engine inside of my piano, which I don't, then I could maybe look at doing multiple velocity ranges, but it's so hard to match samples, let alone that match just one range. There's like 10 to 15 takes of each note to get to where I picked out the ones that played in the range that I wanted to, so that it sounds like the same piano because it's such a dynamic instrument. So, and you can hear there is the sustain pedal damper noise, which is right here on a macro knob. You can bring that up louder if you want. There's both a sustain down and a sustain up. We can do that using Trigger Box, which lets us, if you go to load presets, there's different presets, including one that says play, sound plays with sustain pedal off. And what you do is, there's two. There's one where 0 to 64. So when the value goes from 0 to, when it comes back to 1, it plays this one. And then when it goes back down to the bottom one, it plays this one, which is from 64 to 127. So now it's out of there, it's in the top range. When that changes, it plays this other one. So you can do all the sampler tricks like that using different layers. You could do cool synth things where each of these layers were a plugin, say Serum or something, playing cool sounds when you have your sustain pedal down or when you have note off or something. I mean, there's all sorts of possible places to play there. So, but anyway, so it's on a macro knob, so you can turn it down. You might notice a couple new things in the interface. This is version 2.05 of Unify 2, which we will be getting out to you guys probably in a week or two. And this is a thing for visual assistance that we hope helps those that need help with visual assistance. In the preferences, it's an accessibility highlighting. Like when you select buttons, I've actually talked to Paul about making the underline like bright yellow or, more noticeable than it is now. But as you can see, if the knobs are on, it's highlighted, which is one thing we've done. The other big thing and we'll talk about this more in a minute, but the big thing that we've done is when you right click on a knob, instead of opening a floating window, we found that there's a couple issues with that were problematic. And so now it actually opens to an editor in the interface of Unify. It's no longer a floating window. You can still make this a floating window if you want like that. And now it's floating, but when it comes to doing assignments and stuff like that, this is nice. You can now change to any of the macro knobs, and I'm going to have Paul make it so it's more clear when you've highlighted here. And there's some more things we want to visually do to make it clear, but this way you can see things. You don't have to actually click the knobs to go through the macro knob assignments, which is cool. And the arrows will let you cycle through them like this. The other advantage to doing this is the ear, which now is bright red and flashes faster. Is able to, if I open up a plugin and I add filter cutoff, if I want to go turn on automation, right? So I got automation running and it's moving up and down, and let's bring down our strength so it's not so much. And let's say like this, right? When I want to add another control before this, you'd hit the ears again, and whatever was being broadcast on this would immediately be picked up and recorded. And now it doesn't do that. You hit record, it pauses recording. I can go to another plugin and say, I want the filter cut off of this. So I've added that, and it goes right back to resuming its automation after the fact. So it's easier now to go through and say, oh, I want to add this to automation. Go like that. I could say I want the reverb time to be changing, so decay. Now that's added to the list and it gets to modulate too. So it's even faster for doing more complex macro knob assignment editing and stuff like that. So we're working on this edit, this update. Hopefully in a week or two at the most. We got it with the beta testers now. They've been reporting some things we want to fix, things like that. But that's the big thing we want to do, is get it to where when you get to the macro knobs, it's now in a little bit more easier way to understand everything, and it's not a floating window. So yeah, pretty cool. Hey, continuing here, the other thing with I'm going between updates and this now, but I wanted to show, because there are things visually you're seeing. The keys, there's a little white dot there now, so you can, right? So there's stuff like that as well that we've done to make it visually. Yeah, from what we're finding from our beta testers, they're reporting it keeps refining the experience of doing all these things with the macro knob assignments and stuff like that to make it even better and easier and more powerful, right? You can now hit the record button and add something else without before. And this has been an issue since Unify 2 came out, that I shared with Paul, that it was frustrating that I couldn't easily get multiple parameters on a knob for automation. And now we found the only way we can do it is when you hit the ear, it has to stop broadcasting. So it's stopping. If you have automation happening on 8 knobs, it stops all of them so that it's no longer broadcasting any controllers. And that way I can add something new to this knobs list without it being picked up from, otherwise it's picking up whatever comes first from the other 8 knobs that are moving and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's in the works. We're working on that one. On top of the dry guitars and the pianos themselves, I also recorded MegaMagic samples. And if you come down here to the pads, you'll also see that there's like 2 pads and a wind sound. But right here are the MegaMagic pads. So here is just the and these are separated on their own down here so that you could combine these with anything. I could go to any other guitar library or guitar sample map that are, my favorite sampled guitar from Ample Sound. In fact, here, let's do that. I don't mind showing other companies' guitars. Ample Sound makes really cool guitars. Their Martin is really nice. Take them into load. So I have this MegaMagic layer that I can layer. Their guitar's a little bit more one-dimensional. Oh, there's velocity to it. Right? And if I want to change this up, there's actually 3 other types of actually there's 4 total. This is from the Nylon. Right? Let's go back to our 6-string. Get back to Striker. There you are. Here is the 6-string, and here is the MegaMagic version of, let's see, guitar, MegaMagic. Different character because it's played with a stick, right? Well, we also did MegaMagic for the pianos. I only did it for the soft. I might, as a bonus, give you guys a bright. I just don't know how it. I didn't test that a lot with the reverb to see how it sounded, but the MegaMagic Soft with the soft piano is really cool. It's the first two I showed you of the guitars were of, well, actually that one, steel string, I just did reverb. And same for the piano, so this is just reverb with no shimmer. So you have this lovely layer. Right, which is really cool. And the fun thing with this is you can use that MegaMagic layer just as an example. Let's go over here, Omnisphere. And let's call up the double felt from Keyscape, which is a really nice sound. A little noisy, but it's a cool sound. Keyscape, library, all. Go to the double felt grand. We could add that. Let's mute the striker piano to start with, so you just hear the MegaMagic with Keyscape. So you have this nice, it works with other sample libraries. It's not just for these. It's interesting how, let's see if we go over here, I think like classic, where is the classical? This piano is so noisy. Well, I shouldn't say really noisy, but if you listen to it, there's, but the MegaMagic works nicely here. Just has a little bit of that hiss thing, but go over here to our piano. We don't have hiss. Totally clean, but I'm not compressing it hard. They are. And if you're curious, they do work very nicely together. Can combine other pianos. To get different kinds of sounds and different kind of combinations. There's so many good piano libraries and plugins and stuff like that. Thank you. Helps to be able to play. Yeah. It's one of those things where when I'm doing like the drum libraries and stuff, I kind of lose my piano touch. And since I've been playing piano and working on this stuff, I've got a lot more of my technique and it depending on what you're doing, requires different muscle skills and stuff like that. So anyway, on top of this, as you can see, there's different variations of these. So the 12-string guitar, MegaMagic 1 is using the MegaMagic samples for the 12-string. If you go to number 3, this is using the soft piano. So even the soft piano samples can work with guitar. It doesn't have to be just with piano. I mean, what's awesome with this is this. This is like 15 seconds of reverb. And I have it set up where it's got a little bit of filtering on an envelope and so forth. But it plays forever. Still ringing out, you know? And here, let's do this. Let's go like this. Let's open up the filter, turn this off, make it be just wide open, and have this be wide open so that what the reverb sounds like with no. And it's lots of samples. It's not just one sample across the whole keyboard, it's mapped. So put that on the piano, and this is on the guitar. Like if we want to hear this on the piano, you can always do this. Is say copy layer. So I've copied this magic layer with all of its settings, whatever groove sampler is set to, whatever insert effects. I can now go to another patch. Let's just go to the natural soft piano. And then just go over here to the plus and you say paste layer, and it can paste the layer that you copied. And then if I was to go over here and let's turn off the filter so that it's bright, because I have it so it's got expressivity, so now it matches more of the samples. And it's not just one reverb. For this, I think it's 3. I love to use Black Hole from Eventide. Another one that's a favorite is it RC48 from Native Instruments, which is their Lexicon 480 emulation. And then if you own Omnisphere, don't sleep on the fact that you now can add Omnisphere audio effects to anything. And I checked the usage, and there's nothing at all about not using their plugins on samples. So I used their shimmer. Check this out. If we go native Spectrasonics, their Omnisphere effects are pretty stunning. And it has all the compression, all that stuff. There's a whole bunch of preset racks you can go through, as well as just going here to the list. And if you go to reverb, there's all of these. There's solar shimmer. Here, let's turn off the MegaMagic layer by itself. So beautiful shimmery stuff. Their K reverb and the other reverbs that they have here, as well as their legacy reverbs. Pro reverb has always been a favorite. And then you have all their creative effects and all their modulation. They've got some really cool new ones. The half speeder, Inner Space is a classic with the ability to mix different convolution presets of all sorts of cool samples. This is a really cool thing. So if you own Omnisphere, don't forget you have this to play with, and it's a lot of power that you have to work with, right, Sai? Oh, my video image on screen. Okay, yeah, let me get back to where I'm. Hello. Yes, we've lost some good people lately. William Orbit, one of my favorite artists, passed away this last week, actually on the 23rd. Yeah, so it's sad that we lose those. Make sure that if you don't know William Orbit, you should know his music. He did, he's kind of known for helping revive the career of Madonna from back in the day. But he has some stunning albums that he's released that Madonna heard that said, I want to work with this guy, long before Ray of Light came out. So make sure that you go over. Hinterland is a favorite from Hinterland, Strange Cargo. Such a great album. Let's see, where's this album right here? And my stream is not monetized, so there's no money to take from me. But this is such a great album. Let me see up here. Great grooves and sounds, and his mixes are some of the my favorite mixes to play in big studios. So if you don't know William Orbit, there's Strange Cargo Hinterland. Another one is Strange Cargo 3. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess we just gotta do William Orbit. And then get like the Strange Cargo 2. No, I'm gonna go. Where's all his albums? Oh, come on. Anyway, check out his music. He's such a gifted artist. I'm sad we lost him. Yeah, they just have Hinterland here. Is it Torch Song? No. Anyway, sad we've lost him. So I'm very sad about that. But the vibe is good. Water from a Vine Leaf. Yeah. All those songs are awesome. Awesome music. Awesome. Okay, so this library is available at the website. Let me show you on the website really quickly. Plugingoo.com. Here's my website, and Striker is the first thing on the list. Let's see, I clicked the wrong button too late. Let's go back to this. Go back to home. I don't have it in the pull down yet, but Striker, you can get to it right here. It's 50% off its retail price. There's some demo songs up. The walkthrough will be added. There's a walkthrough on my channel. I just didn't tie it into the video yet. But thank you to all of you that are picking up the library. Much appreciated. Yes, RIP. All right. Well, we should probably talk about some of the new plugins. There's 3 plugins to show you guys today. Let's start with this. So I've told you a little bit about my frustrations with Native Instruments, and I was having trouble with their Native Access application installing. It wouldn't download the files. Their tech support contacted me, gave me some really helpful instructions of files to delete and to make sure that I double check both. Apple is kind of interesting in that there's, and I guess they do this now on the newer Windows systems, but there's like the global system, and then there's each user has their own setup of preferences. And there were preferences in 2 locations that once I deleted those, I was able to get Native Access to work. And so I have Super Sauce. Is it Superstar Saw? Superstar Saw. This is this new synth plugin. It was created with A.G. Cook. And the first thing I was really surprised about is you can't resize it. I haven't found anywhere where I have, this is for saving patches, and it's very basic for the saving and stuff. I hope that they will add resizing, because for those of us with bigger monitors and stuff, I'd love to put it right here and resize it so you guys can see it better. I mean, I can do this. Let's go over here. I can mess up the view because I got this big monitor, right? So I don't want to mess up my monitor setup. I don't have a zoom in. I have a master zoom out. Anyway, I don't have anything to show you the smaller version of it. It's basically using Super Saw kind of a technologies of Unison in interesting ways, with a vector in the middle between cycling between 4 different settings of however you set it up. So it sounds nice. And then you have different places. And what's interesting is you can change these settings. Like they have here for the chords, the type. You can even, I think, go up here to the, And if you hit this record button, this little dot, it records what that is. So as you change the settings here, let's say I want this down here. Now I have 3 places. Oh wait, I think I hit the dice. I think I hit the wrong button. So if we take it down. Anyway, you have the ability to lock in where's all the chords? There's some of the patches that was showing me options for. But it can do some interesting things. I don't like the interface at all. It's very too moderny abstract, trying to like be kind of cute with visual animation and stuff, but the core of what it's doing, it's really hard to understand from this how to modify it, so they've made it kind of unfriendly. And I look at the interface of hundreds of synthesizers, right? So here we go. So here we have the different chord types by dragging. And if I hit the little remember, if I hit the lock over here, so you can have 4 different locations that you record different chord settings, so you can do the envelopes. The filter is over here, and it's very flaky to get it to edit the cutoff, and that's just. I wish they would have done a little bit less of a intellectual interface and more of a practical interface, because having to hover over the filter and then change these parameters without going outside of the window so that the filter window goes away. I don't see any way to lock it. Anyway, but there's 2 layers. So there's a green layer and a pink layer, which is why you see this right? And it's got some good presets if you. I like this part of the interface, they did nice. The rest of it, they could have done better to try to help us understand more what's going on. Is it worth $99? I don't know. Interestingly, they never did an introductory pricing on it. It just came out at $99. And I bought it, and then I sat here for 3 weeks unable to show it because I couldn't get my computer and the settings of its plugin. It was just. I'm using symbolic links to an external hard drive, and I think that might have messed something up, so it's partly my fault. I'll share credit. But it's a cool synth. Just with a challenging interface that you'll need to spend some time in the owner's manual to really understand what all these different things can do. And then in 2 months, when you come back to it, you won't remember anything. You'll have to look at the owner's manual all over again, because that's how it works when you have an interface like that. Yeah. Like it does have the reverb delay chorus over here that you can work with. I didn't check this. If I have this off here, I can't turn it on here. How about mix? So if let's go like, and lock that. Yeah, you can do that. Have the plays on here and then have them at 0 here. Record that. So, yeah. So, yeah, you can get some fun stuff happening, and having 4 different variations of a patch that you can morph between is really fun. So I like this part of this a lot. A lot of synthesizers don't have that. So nice. So there's nice stuff to play with here. Let me give you the link to this if you want to know more information. I don't think they even have a demo yet, so shame on them. They should have a demo of this, if nothing else. Where is... Oh, there it is at the Discover Superstar. Yeah, $99, no demo. That's not how you try to get lots of sales, right? But there's the link if you would like to pick this up. If you are a collector of every synth plugin in the world, you'll want to own this because it does have some unique characteristics to it. All right. Let's show you a reverb unit next. Hey, Wilf. Let's see. Let's go like this. I'm going to call up... Let's call up something from the library. Now, there's a lot of bonus patches. So let's go over here to like Cougar Radio. Let's turn off this reverb. And on here, we're going to put in liminal, L-I-M-I-N, liminal space 2. This is a $10. He calls it a haunted reverb. I'm not sure why, but liminal space 2 is right. Here is the link. This is kind of done in a very different interface in that you scroll down through a lot of parameters. This could easily have been more optimized and better designed, but it takes a lot of work to do that. And so this is kind of like, as you're developing a plugin, you might have something in this stage at some point, and a lot of times you take it farther, but developers sometimes don't know how or don't want to put in the time to do that. You can change the interface. If you don't want the green and the kind of stuff, you can go over here to theme, and there's all sorts of other themes. Here's ice. And then if you want, you can choose from background color, and you can say what color you want it to be. And then you go to the text color and you choose what color you want it to be. Make it kind of a Unify color. There, that's cool. And so this has an interesting design. Let's go over here to a preset. So and let me remind you, here's without it. Let's have this MegaMagic layer kind of shorten its release. That's one nice thing with the reverb being samples is you're playing the reverb, but you can have it respond like it would be a synth. Here's the interface. And then what's interesting with this is that he has given you access to an entire database of different reverb algorithms. So, I mean, some plugins will base their entire synth, the reverb, on one of these algorithms, right? And so here's one of the haunted kind of patches. And you guys scroll down. Unfortunately, the wet dry mix is way down here at the very bottom. It should be that wet dry mix is right here at the front of the main interface, but that's not the case. They needed to hire me to tell them stuff like this. I do this with software developers all the time. There's a synth coming out September 1st. I can't wait to tell you about it, but we've got to wait till then. And I was able to give him some suggestions, and it's a synth you guys are going to love. So make sure you're ready for something cool on September 1st. Anyways, let me show you some other presets. So it's Reverb Plus in a lot of cases. You can actually go up here to the archetype, and there's all these different types of reverb. And then you have all these parameters to play with. For the modulation, there's 3 modulation LFOs. You can even choose different wavetables. It's got a lot going on to it, as you can see. Let's see, let's go to some other presets. Magic swirlies. So there's something in the reverb. It's not a transparent reverb. That's why it's haunted, I guess, right? Oh, good. Okay, yes. Happy to give you feedback. I'm glad you're here. You know, this front page right here when you call it up is where you want the things you want to reach for all the time. And wet dry mix is one of those things where you want that right there at the top of the list. Easy to. In fact, I was almost going to email you because I was like, I didn't realize it scrolled down to more parameters. And so I'm like, there's no wet dry mix in this. What's going on? So yeah, but you know, for a $10 effect, it does unique sounds. No doubt about it. So if you want to get yourself some tasty reverb, I can highly recommend Liminal Space 2 for that, right? Right. Okay, cool. Great, great. I also want more of the parameters that let me change the brightness of the reverb, things like that. I'm not sure where in this list I would go. I think somewhere in here. There's interpolation, there's gain and stuff, so maybe here, right? So yeah, I'd want access to these types of parameters right here at the top. I want to shape this reverb to fit my sound. I was playing, like, I don't know what D-Res does. There it is. Well, it qualifies for haunted. I just don't know if I would put that at the top of the list versus like shaping the brightness of the sound and stuff like that. Anyway, it's a really good reverb for different kinds of effects. Yeah, check it out. Highly recommend it to check out. All right. D-Res undersamples the reverb and you can modulate that. Yes. Very cool. So if you bring this down, it's now at a lower. Cool vibes. Yeah, it's very unique in that respect. So check it out. All right, I got one more thing to show you guys. This is a crazy plugin. There's this dude. You've probably seen some of his Serum. He does a lot of promotion for his libraries that he's done for Serum. Like, hey, check out these tasty sounds. And he's got like cool glasses and the lights behind him and everything. He's a very talented programmer. His patches are very good. And he's made a plugin called Groove Generator. And this is nuts. This is right. Like, if you guys, some of you guys are old like me, right? So I'll remind you of a plugin called, was it Rebirth from Propeller Heads back in the day? You remember that? With Rebirth, let me get this to fit the screen a little bit better. With Rebirth, and I'm going to make myself smaller because I don't need to be in the picture so much. So there. Rebirth was a drum groove and a bass. And this is kind of in that same kind of a vein, but taken to like the hardcore techno dance scene, where it has a configuration to generate a melody, a configuration for things that are going to be changed in the sound of the synth engine. Here are the samples for the kick, snare, clap, hi-hats, and a loop that does follow tempo, which is pretty cool. And then on the second page is a synth, which has an oscillator section. It can have a second oscillator if you want. A lot of times it's not using that. Noise oscillator if you want. Envelopes, which have the ability to be, change the curvature and so forth like this. And then a lot of assignability for LFOs, because there's, 4 LFOs. There's performance for doing multi-segment kind of things. There's matrix modulation, all this stuff. And what's crazy is by just hitting generate, that will randomly generate a whole groove. And I generate again. And I can go to the synth part. I can just say randomize the synth. And so each time I randomize, and then if you have something that you like, you can go to the drag and drop page right here, and you can drag and drop all stems of everything. You just, if you go like this and drag to your desktop, you're dragging over a MIDI file. So you can get bass lines that you like and then build them up to turn into the, one bug I've found is that if you do go to the, the drag and drop, when you go back to the interface, it's shrunk the interface. But check out some of these presets that he's made for this that are just... Hear all that change in the sound. Now we can turn off loop like. Here's the loop. And when you click here, you get to the list of all the different types of loops. If we go to like percussion and say boom. He's got percussion of toms. I think that's a mistake. But anyway, like shaker, here's your perk loops. This is where it should be for perk. So you just... And if you hit solo the drums. You can solo just the drums, solo just the kick and bass. Or just solo the synth. And here's some other presets. Let's go through like... Some of them with the modulation of the synth part. It's got a lot going on. So it is capable of doing some really cool things. And then you can go through here, cycle through the kicks. Here's my open hi-hat. If you want, you can change it. It's really easy to get around this interface. And this generate button to like just mixing up all that stuff. It even has a clip editor where you can go in and you can double click to add whatever you want. You can edit the links and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. I think it's like $89. Let me get you to the website where he has this. Iterator. Let's see. I think this is, yeah, here it is. The website's going to jump at you. Get ready for that. So I'm going to grab this one. I mean, the sounds are so cool. And then how to use this in Unify 2 was... Let's find one to play with. As you can see, there's techno after hours. You can play to this a couple days ago. Let's tame it down a little bit. Now, if you want, you can go to the generators, and you can go over here and you can turn off the generator so it doesn't do drums. Not going to randomize the synth or the config, but just the bass line if you want. And then you go over here to where you say, I want short note lengths. I want the phrasing like this. How much octave jumping do I want? How much swing do I want? And he's locked that because it's got a groove element to it. What key I want it to be in. And then each time I hit generate, it'll make new bass lines. And then just go drag and drop and drag it over. Go back to the plug-in. Oh, then this time it kept the size. Now, to use this in Unify, there's a couple options. What I found is a fun way to do is to just limit the keyboard, because currently I'm going to talk to him, a really cool guy. I'm going to talk to him to see if that he can get it so that you can change and transpose the bass line by playing keys. So you can have it on C, and play C, play A flat, and would transpose the bass line. That way you could interact with it more. Right now, let's see, I want the root to be there more. I don't want so many octave jumps. Lots of velocity jumps. And then you can go looking to see what were set for velocity settings and so forth that make it do what it's doing, right? Okay, so to use this in Unify, a couple things. Number one is to go over here to the MIDI effects and go to the utility MIDI filter and go to sustain pedal and say emulate. So that way you can, because it doesn't listen to sustain. It's not designed to be, you know, Unify is an interface that most plugin companies don't plan for because we're like whipping around clock start and stop like crazy. We do sustain pedal for holding things, but MIDI filter will let you put sustain pedal to anything, whether it has sustain or not. So now I can, and it plays away, right? So I could set this to be just a small range of the keyboard, like bottom C on my keyboard if I wanted to. And then I could go up here to the rest of the keyboard range and put anything I wanted to jam with. I could do BPM stuff because it's listening to tempo. So if I go over here to, you know, it's swinging. So remember, you want to add something. None of these are swinging here. We'll see if this will work. Let's say Pied Piper. This is going to be a... And then go to the key range for this and make sure that you tell the low note to be C sharp. So that way it can't play C. So I got one of... Now, what key am I in? It's an E minor. So I could put anything in the right hand to jam with my... And in Unify, all I have to do is hit record and... And I'm making my record, you know? Oh, I didn't hit record. If I hit record, it would be recording. So you could do that kind of stuff. Also, you could add a drum track to this in the metronome to have it play. You can also do things where you could say, take this just for the top part of the keyboard, ignore sustain pedal. And let's say we want to add, there's a cool bass patch in the Z bonus patches. So we could go bass, add, let's see, add right here. Add sticky funky, and let's have it so that we're in the key of E, so it doesn't need that low C, and then have it stop at B, so that way I could... jam with it, you know. And it's a little loud, so we'll turn it down. Right? So you can jam with these different types of groove generating kind of plugins. It's just kind of cool that this has the samples and the synth, and it has a lot built into it for messing the sounds up. Lots of experimental stuff. And it's so cool. And he doesn't have presets for this, but you could use this in other genres of music. You have to do some workaround programming, so forth, because it's really designed for the techno kind of crowd right now for this vibe. But you could go into the clips and modify the patterns and take out the kicks so that they're not playing every time, you know. Just double click for them to go away. And then instead of 8 bars, just have to be 2 bars. Instead of hi-hats being like this, you could say, you know. Now it's, oh, this is the bass line. I'm gonna go to drums. It's not respecting my, I thought if I set to 2, I don't know what I'm doing with this part of it, but you should be able to get it to where you could modify the patterns and the sounds to be in other genres besides this thing, right? So, but this is so fun to jam with these patches, so. I mean, it's so fun. So. If you've ever wanted to have a club on a finger, I mean, there you go. It's right there for you to play with. So check this out from Cracked Records. If you want, I will recommend also to look at his all-in-one, which has 2 libraries for Serum 2. I don't mind showing other people's patches and products and stuff. I'm here to share everything. I don't care. So Serum 2, check this out. These are his libraries, and they're as crazy as Groove Generator is. So if you go over to the core, to like, let's say synth, leads, these are... I think yeah. He likes to hit 101, I believe. So they are very legit sounding. You've probably heard lots of these on if you're into the techno scene at all, you've heard some of these before. Good stuff. So his all-in-one comes with loops, stuff for Ableton Live, 2 banks of really cool patches and groove generators. So if you want to get the whole thing, Serum was never on our... Oh, okay. Well, good. Let me see. Can I pop this out? I think I can pop this out. Pop out chat. Yeah. So if I put this over here, so it's right a little bit more in front, because I never, my monitor is so wide, I can never read the interface for that type of thing. So anyway, just be aware he has some options at the website, his website for, was it crackedrecords.com. You can get the all-in-one for $175, and it comes with, I think, a pretty good, especially if you're into serious sounds in these genres of music. There. Some of his basses, just to show you that he's got the 808s, you know. All this kind of stuff. So yeah. Oh, creator, thank you. I'm glad you love it massively. That makes me happy. Please write a review. Let others know you love it massively too. Tell them what you love about it, stuff like that, you know. So anyway, check out Cracked Records if you want to get that. Check out Liminal Spaces. Check out our lovely Native Instruments. We got to support them. We got to keep them in business. We need them to stay in business. Contact is such an important kind of a, there's nothing else like Contact for all the libraries that work and so forth. So I will continue to support them. I was a little disappointed, but their tech support was pretty responsive for a big company and so forth. So I'm not going to badmouth them. Anyway, so on Striker, let's make a bonus patch. Let's see if I can make one that I can share with you guys. It's such hit and miss when you're making patches. And you guys know it takes a long time to make patches sometimes. It's not necessarily something that, oh no, I only have a few minutes left because the live stream's almost over. My niece is having her birthday party today, so I have to head to Payette to see my family. And but let's do this. Let's try to play with this. I'm going to try to play. I want to play with the guitar. I'm going to say just the instrument for the guitar. Yeah, the guitars sound so good in this library too. And what I love is that it does have a different attack. And so that makes it totally different. Let's do this. I'm going to use MIDI box, and we're going to go to the standard library for our MIDI files to acquire. Is Striker an 808 library because of... No, Striker is a library of piano, guitars played with drumsticks. And it wasn't because of 808 Day that I released it. It's just that's when I got done building. I've been working on the library for 3 months. So I had to get it out. But let's see. I want to go over here to... Let's see what I want to do with maybe MIDI files. You know what I'm going to play with? Let's see if I can find them here. Yeah, here we go. The string orchestra libraries, like the spiccato rhythms and stuff. I want to do one of the octaves, so let's... Thanks, Casey, man. Now let's get this to be a little bit more fun. So what do I do? I want to get nice attack. See where I'm going? Now what's fun is that you can put something busy like this that's going to give you a headache after about 30 seconds. And then right after it, go to Creative and add Trigger Box. And this has a probability for the note playing and set to 20. That's manageable. I like that. And then let's do this. Let's say duplicate the layer. And let's have this one be a different guitar. Let's say the 6th string. The 6th string and the 12th string zing really nicely together. So now I have 2 parts playing, but in your stereo spread you can't really distinguish them, right? So panning comes in really handy. So let's say 50 on the negative and 50 on the plus. And I know right away in set it to grade, I want to put this to be note percentage. So note percentage, and open this up. And what's cool with this is now I can just have the interface without a plugin in front of me. So I can go over here and get to the trigger box for each of these. And I'm going to say, I want to use the full range. It's kind of tricky to see them on the side like this. Let's say grab note percentage here. Oh, I need to delete this other stuff that's on here. So they're gone. There. And then let's go to the other trigger box and say add. Let's see, what layer did I do? I added instrument 4, so we need to go to instrument 5, note percentage here. So now I can bring it down to 0, or just a little bit, or a bunch. And as you can see, my levels, here, let's get this, go back down here. I don't think I want the loudness on, because I don't need to emphasize any fundamental frequencies. And then here's where it gets really fun. I've been really getting into random. And if you right click and just do the random, like, I want to kind of stay, I don't want to go below this, so I'm just going to use the random 1, which is 0 to +1. Random 2 is bipolar. It goes -1 to 0 to +1. So it's the full range. It will go into a negative numbers, whereas random 1 won't. So do that and go over here to now they have life. It's each time it plays a note, right? And then mix it up a little bit more. Let's go to trigger box, actually to MIDI box. And I'm going to choose a different MIDI file. I like this, but it's too high, so I'm going to transpose it down an octave. Now on top of this, I want this to get even darker. So it gets a little bit more underwatery. In fact, let's find a reverb for this. Like, I'm not using degrade, so I'm going to go over here and say replace this layer with something totally different. Let me make sure that I'm showing you guys. I did reserve the complete live stream at the day versus. Let's see. I want to see here. Make sure you can see everything. There. And my little box can be a little bigger. Hello. And so I want this to be even darker because I want it to be really moody. And because random is there, it's popping stuff up. Then you can find the note percentage that works right. Now, I'm going to go over here to this, and instead of degrade, let's go replace from layer preset, go to reverb. Let's say we use like a Dragonfly Hall, Secret Fantasy Hall. And let's kill just a little bit of the low frequency so it doesn't go like below like 60 hertz. Cool, I like that. But as you see, we had to start with it being busy and that stuff, and then we tame it down, so. And I want one more thing to be added to this. Well, I don't really have time. I'm over time, so I'll keep working on this. I'm going to give you a version 1, and then I'm going to make a version 2, so you can kind of see where I take this after the live stream. But let's do this. Let's say instead of, well, sustained pedal noise is important. Decay on the piano is not. So I'm going to put the attack over here. By the way, if you hold down Control and Shift, you can use that to click, to copy a knob and then paste it. Option on a knob resets it. I'm going to keep this same pedal here because it's the same as it is for all the other patches in case you're doing this on a template or something like that. But I'm going to call this Guitar Bright. Brightness. And so we're going to open this up And we're gonna open up Groove Sampler 4. And we're gonna open up Groove Sampler on layer 5. And then hit the little ear. And go to here and say cut off. And then go over here, hit the ear and say go to cut off. Now, I have a couple options here. I could automate this, which is what I'm thinking of doing, is like bring this down, have this be like bi-directional so it goes both directions. Let's go to the rate. So it kind of does the splashing stuff. Now, just for fun, let's go over here and on the reverb, put Pump House on it. And at this point, I need the guitars to be a little bit softer because the piano is still the star. These guys are supposed to be supporting it. So here's where we'll start. I have more ideas to do to this. Let's maybe add a drum track to this really quick. I think there's one on here already. Not bad. Let's see if we can find something else a little better. Let's see. Not bounce, not hardcore. No. That's not the right vibe. Let's see here. Maybe we use one of the star piano. I like that vibe. That's good. Let's go over here to the black bass. It's fun. I have black bass is drum grooves from playing a guitar. Star piano is grooves from playing a piano. Let's see if we can find a couple of those guys that work together. So let's say load this. Let's put this in reverb. So we've got reverb in 2. And to make this reverb interesting too, let's make it longer. If you haven't done this, it's a very fun thing. Put pump houses on reverb. Make this one be like a 16th note pulse like this. Now I can bring the reverb up louder. Cool. that's fun. I just want to write a song now. Okay, so what should we call this? What kind of name should we give this? You know what? I need one more thing. I need to put a pump house also on this this one that's doing the straight 16th. Let's put it the pump house. All right, Rob, good to see you, man. Open book, I like that. The last thing I want to do, I really want to pull the snare out of this on the road. Oh, how about open road? That puts you two patches, guys. I want the snare of this to be separated. So here's how we do that. Let me mute all of these guys for a second. I don't mind going a little late. I got to drive an hour away, but it's not until early dinner. So I want that snare to be on its own. So what you do is it's set to include notes, and then you filter till you have just that snare by itself. So I have a bass still in there somewhere. All right, it's G sharp too. Yay. So I can say exclude notes now so that this groove, it doesn't have that snare in it. And then I can say duplicate this layer and change the MIDI box from excluding notes to including notes. And that makes this one be just that snare so that I could put it through reverb. So it hits, then it gets a splash of the reverb when it hits, and then the reverb is being pulsed. And so that will make it stick out a little bit better, you know. Let's turn it down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so let's save this. Z, and you play it like a key, so Z, BPM, key, open, road, LS. We'll put LS because it was made in the live stream. Made during the 808 live stream. Sorry, it doesn't have a 808 in it. Fun rhythmic. TH patch. And I'll fill in more details. Let's see, let's go up here and say bonus, because this is a bonus. And NUS and BPM. And BPM keyboard. BPM keyboard. All right, save as save. Now let me get this to you. I'll give this to you since I said I would. So let's go over here, reveal in the Finder. Let's do this. We got to go actually up to the libraries and copy the whole Striker library to my desktop, all 2 gigabytes of it, which doesn't take long, thank goodness. Copy. Then I don't know if I have a libraries. I do. So let's go over here to libraries, open up, get rid of that, and put this Striker library in here. And then I need to open this up. You don't need MIDI files or samples, just patches. And we'll go over here to the date modified, which is today, and give you open road, right? There it is. So then I can press this. This is Striker Open Road Livestream .guru. So this will put this into your folder. Let's go like that. Got over here to Mr. Dropbox and to freebies. And I need to make a new folder for Striker. Striker. Yep, I did that right. Boom, boom. Where did I put it? Striker Open Road right there. Okay. Copy link. All right, guys, here you go. Oh, in the chat right here. I'll put a link in the video description as well. Oh, I'm so glad you love it. Yeah, it was very fun to make. It took a little longer than expected, but you know. Glad you guys dig it. That's how we make patches. Find creative things and do things with them. So you have control of the brightness, which I was always going to open to Aftertouch, because another thing is if you had a keyboard that's got it'd be cool to use Aftertouch to do it as well, but I kind of like it doing a cyclical pattern. The other thing you can do if you want with this is to open up the brightness and give it something more complex than just an up and down for its path, and then it gets even. Now it becomes a pattern. Right? So there's also different ways of dealing with when you have real-time automation happening, and now we can actually see where it is in the audio path. We are going to change how this looks a little bit for the final version, but there will still be something showing you the active, where it's at in time. And if you want it to be in sync, then you just turn on the sync button. So when I play, it starts same place every time. Yeah, so we have the real-time macro knobs, Henry, put into the interface so that you can see how things work. And we're going to show you real-time where it is in the travel path when you're I want to get, automation is such a fun thing to play with. There's so much we can do. And the other nice thing here is you can see all 32 of the macro knobs from here without having to go down and click each one for it to show up for you to work on. So yeah, we're trying to open up the doors, make it a little bit more easy to do all sorts of cool stuff. So yep, it's in the works. It's in the works. So we should get this update to you guys in the next week or two. I don't know. It depends on what we find in our beta testing phase and what it takes for Paul to fix things that are found and stuff like that. But it's coming, and it's going to be really nice. All right, shout outs. Where are you guys at? Shout out. Down out from Eagle, Idaho. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining for the live stream. Appreciate it. Good to see you all. Manchester. Cool. Good to see you, Jim. Thank you. Camino Island. Oh, cool, Ken. Thank you. San Francisco. My daughter's in San Francisco. She's actually at some of these big concerts that are going on in Golden Gate Park this weekend. She's been sending me pictures of the shows and stuff. Really cool. Very good. Shout out from the Netherlands. Yokohama. Oh, I've been to Yokohama. I went to Yokohama once. It was so cool. Arigatou gozaimashita, Kasaka-san. Domo. Outside Lands. Yeah. Yeah, that's where she's at. She went last night and sent us all sorts of pictures. A lot of people there. Holy cow. Stockholm, Sweden, New Jersey, North Carolina. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being customers. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, we'll do this again next week. Who knows what we're going to have next week to show you. It's been a great live stream. Enjoy you all. Have a great week. Thanks again. See ya.